Do you like the haircut? Yeah. So I just got it yesterday. I'm going to be talking about assertiveness in today's video. And assertiveness is very important because it strikes the balance between aggression and passivity. And having too much of either of the latter isn't a good thing because it's just not a sustainable method of communication in the sense that it can arouse either resentment or take people taking advantage of you. So you need to learn how to be assertive, and I also need to learn how to be assertive because um, circumstances would probably cause you to be sometimes um, unable to stand up for yourself when you should be able to, and the inability to say no is another grievous thing. You need to be able to project things, and that's assertiveness as a whole, really. I remember it was my last week of college, or second or third last, and I asked the owner of the house if I could leave my bike in the shed, and she instantly said no. And but then but then they said that they might because they'd be just sending it off into storage. But that initial no, that really struck me as assertive, and I had no choice but to just respect that because not everyone is just able to say no like that. Not everyone can just respectfully decline something without feeling like they're offending the other person. It's a firmness that you need to have, and um, again, just don't be mean about it, and you should be fine. Like, just be able to say no. Of course, you need to get yourself into a position where you're mentally able to do that. You need to kind of fix up your brain a bit. So if you were like me and you just get emotional at the slightest thing, like someone chewing loudly behind you would make you want to break their face, then that's probably something you're going to need to work on before you start um, training yourself in assertiveness. Because then, when you're trying to be assertive, you're going to come off as um, kind of scary and probably aggressive as well. And you don't want that because that's not being assertive. That's just being someone who's rejecting you to just reject you. Like, that's the reason. Not It's not because of some logical thing or form. It's because they just don't like you. That's what it seems like when you don't have your mental health in order, and you're not emotionally stable enough to do it. So make sure that you're sorry, voice cracked. Make sure that you're able to uh, manage your own emotions before you start trying to be assertive. Otherwise, I don't know, you're going to have to opt for being passive, if I'm going to be honest. And that's pretty much the meta that I've been using for a while, because it's just the next best thing. I'd rather be passive than aggressive, to be honest. And of course, there's also passive aggressive, and that's where you just mix the two, but it's not like mixing in terms of assertiveness. It's like the other side of the circle. It's you kind of just ignore, but it's malicious compliance of ignoring, and you don't intend well whatsoever when you're not saying anything, but you're just not saying anything. And again, you just give off an aura of "go away, I don't like you." That's passive aggressiveness. So you don't want that either. Assertiveness is very important, or else you're probably gonna get a lot of bad things happening to you. You're gonna get swindled. You're gonna get coerced. You're gonna be guilt tripped. Of course, if you've already been guilt tripped, then that's probably another reason you can't be assertive. So really, it's that kind of vicious cycle where one of these bad things is just going to lead to another, and it's going to lead back to the original bad thing. And it's hard to get out of, but with enough effort, I'd say that you could. Now, I'm not saying that I have, but I'm making some steps gradually to become more assertive, and I think it's just an important tool. And Greg McKeown said in Essentialism that you need to be able to say no to things, and the other person just needs to accept that. Again, on the other side of this, the other person has to deal with some level of rejection, but let them down lightly, and that will be enough. Maybe just don't say no, I don't want it, or no, I don't want that. Of course, it depends on the culture. Maybe if you're from Eastern Europe or something, that will be okay, or Asia. Um, People are just more direct, or Italy. They don't. It's not like a big insult if someone says to you, "Move out of my way," because it's just a simple order, and really, that's okay in itself, because they're not expending too much energy in um, telling you an order or something. But in these countries here, like Ireland, it's more you have to be a bit friendlier. So I've gone a bit off topic here, but generally, I just mean like getting back to rejecting someone and being rejected. So on the other side of it, yeah, get used to being rejected, but on this side of it, get used to giving soft rejections, and that is assertiveness. Assertiveness is not going along with the person when you don't intend to. Assertiveness is not just um, being like just blowing the person off angrily. That's not a good thing either. That's just what weak people do. And I'll actually speak about what I've discovered recently about weakness and strength and goodness and evil in another video. That I think that's a great discovery I made. But anyway, it's not for this video, so I'm just going to continue discussing about assertiveness for now. So say you've been guilt tripped a lot in your life, that would probably leave you prone to being unable to be assertive, and it's just going to be exponentially more difficult for you than anyone else around you to grow to become an assertive person, because you just feel guilty when you reject anyone. It's like this thing eating away at you, that you've committed this horrible war crime because you've said no to someone, and that's not the case at all. Sorry if you can't hear me. I was holding out with the side of my mic, but um, you're not committing a war crime by telling someone no. Um, and of course, me telling you this isn't going to whatsoever change your belief in it or your emotional reaction. But you do need to figure out what's going on wrong, and you do need to manage that chimp in your mind. In your mind, gee, these voice cracks. Um, yeah, there in another video I do mention like how to get done tasks effortlessly, and in that video I just go into how you manage your chimp. So if you can if you can learn to do that, then that's a very good thing, and it's just really needed. So yeah, that will help you to become a more assertive. In fact, it'll just start this. Camera's very shaky. It'll start this like string of events that you start performing, and you're just going to become way better. So yeah, make sure to do that, and I'll see you in the next one.